Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast, where we talk all things
Sports betting.
and we sprinkle in a little pop culture here and there. My name's Tyler Press.
And I'm Ryan McDonald.
Let's see, we got some schedules coming out for the NFL.
Yeah, the whole release is as of we were recording this on 5/14, so the whole schedule release will be tonight. But we have gotten snippets here and there,
Which is weird. I mean, it seems like the Eagles are getting a lot of them.
I get maybe like two of them, but then you get like the random week 4 on Thursday is this game. It's like okay, I don't
Like give us the. I can see the holidays and like the first game, like you said, week 4. Like why am I being told who I'm playing week 4 instead of just giving me the whole schedule? But yeah, that's kind of. I'm not a huge fan of the slow release. Give me like a couple, like the holiday games I get, like I said, and the first game, which Eagles are playing Cowboys. First game of the season. I didn't love it at first, but
I like it.
I do love the fact that they got to watch the banner come down.
Yeah, Jerry Jones, those senile eyes, he's got to look up and be like,
As far as watching, like, what would have made for the best game, I think the Commanders kind of deserved it. They were the team that we played in the NFC Championship, and they are in our NFC East.
I think they won it.
They would have made a lot of sense, and I think the Lions would have made a lot of sense, too.
Lions, I think Terrence Armstead or whatever said something about, oh, we wanted that or something like that. I mean, which I kind of because they kept saying like, oh, we would have done better in the conference championship game.
Get the hell out of here with that shit.
It's a lot, yeah.
You guys got whooped by the team that we went on to whoop. Like I've seen that so many times with like Amon Ra's podcast, and like we really thought we had a chance with those Eagles, man. Like if only we would have made it to Eagles. I'm like, how can you say that when you lost to a team that we absolutely destroyed?
Yeah, they're like, we had a good game plan. It's like so did like 14 other teams we played that season. It didn't work for any of them.
The Chiefs had the best game plan, which is stop Saquon, and the rest of our team just absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah, pretty sure that was the Commanders' strategy too. Didn't work on the first play.
I was gonna say I can't imagine it was the Commanders' strategy.
Well, I think it was their try. I think they tried to. But
wait, didn't he say that we're gonna make Jalen throw the ball or we're gonna make Jalen beat us?
It didn't work.
We got 7 rushing touchdowns on them. That's enough about.
Yeah,
Super Bowl and everything, but
we'll be going into the MLB a little bit, the NBA, of course, NHL, and then finally Last of Us.
Yes.
But as always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thebellringerspod. Subscribe, like our videos, like our shorts. Follow us on social media at bellringerspod on TikTok, Twitter, or X, the Everything app, and Instagram. And then follow us on Spotify at bellringerspod.
Yes. Make sure you like and comment all of our reels. We love the feedback on the reels where we get most of the. I think we get really any feedback on the full episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We also have a draft, which some of you guys were using derogatory statements towards me, just calling me mustache. Which I mean, it's fine as long as you're saying nice things about me. It's all right.
It was a nice.
It was like mustache killed this draft, so I'll take it.
Which if you watched the full episode, you saw my disgust by the end of the draft. Like Ryan drafted a perfect team for me in particular, so I was immediately like, I'm really in a bad shape right now. I forgot that he could look out. Like I was in my mind, Ryan was drafting based on you, and I didn't think that you would have taken the picks or held.
Well, I did draft basically.
I know, but like I didn't think you would have had Old Fashions in such high regard.
Well, I think I would have taken it 4th had it not been for the fact I knew it wasn't necessarily in 1, 2, 3 order. Right. It was I took that because I knew you were gonna take it.
Yeah.
It was it was probably in my top 5.
Good on you. I definitely blanked on Espresso Martinis. I should have taken that with my 3rd pick. My second pick.
I was kind of surprised I was able to get.
Yeah. Which again, I feel like I'm not trying to put down our guys or anything, but our group loves Espresso Martinis.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
I'm not as big on the bandwagon of them, but I should have never had that knot in my head with how much our guys love Espresso Martinis.
Yeah, well, I get a text almost every other or an Instagram DM where it's like, hey, look what Philly Bar's doing Espresso Martinis this weekend. Can we go?
Yeah, they literally there's a full Espresso Martini crawl they're obsessed with. I think our weekly mention of Dallas Nick had his birthday party at an Espresso Martini bar.
Which if the Dallas Stars make it on, I might try and see if he can come on.
Yeah,
at least via Skype.
Yeah,
or some way. I mean, he has said that we're the reason why they've been winning these games. So
and it sucks. I did text him. We were gonna meet up for the night of one of those games. I think it was Friday of last week.
Oh yeah, he tried to get me to go out Friday. I said no.
So
I'll probably go out this weekend.
He was gonna come up to Philly. We're gonna go get dinner, and then I said and the Stars are playing tonight. We'll go watch a game, and I said I will have to warn you, I do have a future on the Jets, so I won't be with you tonight, rooting with you. And then he said, all good, man. We're the ones going to go. I'm like, I don't know, man. The Stars are laying down the pipe on my Jets, absolutely destroying them. The Stars are an absolute wagon. I'll hold my Stars taking. But
so it's back to the NFL.
yeah, sorry about that.
Were there any other games that we got? So Christmas, I'm looking at now. We have Cowboys versus the Commanders 1 p.m. and Lions versus Vikings at 4:30. Kind of like that on Netflix. I don't know if it was on Netflix last year. I feel like it was.
It was. That was their first year doing it.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
We have the Black Friday game, right?
Against the Bears. Let me see if I can find this. Thanksgiving, Chiefs, Cowboys at 4:30. So I'm kind of just scrolling through and finding what I can. Oh, we also get Christmas, Broncos, Chiefs.
Broncos, Chiefs, and Christmas Day.
Yeah. Black Friday looks like Bears versus Eagles. I don't know if it's home or away at this moment. I think we already knew all of our opponents, so it's not like this is anything new.
We do have like a dog of a schedule too. Like we have one of the toughest ones, I think.
It's just, I mean, we can't know until we find out the full schedule. Like our buys, how many away games in a row we might have. Mm-hmm. I think last year we were a little upset that we got like the week 4 bye, but then it ended up working out perfectly.
Yeah,
we had like that 2-2 start, and someone, I forget who was hurt, but someone was like, a little banged up. Might have been Jalen.
Week 5
bye. Yeah, week 5. Yeah, you're right. But I remember being like, that's too early, and then it kind of worked out perfectly in terms of like what we kind of needed at the moment.
Yeah, it gave like early on in the season, our team hit a lot of injuries, and then like just completely bounced back off the bye week and came out hot. Like I said, you're right. We all were kind of pissed off about it. Like we're gonna be tired by the playoffs, and it was like we start 2-2. Like damn, like do we even make the playoffs? And then like looking at the injuries, and it came at the perfect time. Came out of the bye just insanely hot and ready to go. What are you looking up at Saquon?
No, I'm just looking up because we're going to get to the next thing is Derrick Henry's new contract with the Ravens, a new extension, 2 years, $30 million, $25 million guaranteed. Trying to look up the average annual like AAV where he sits at. Looks like he would be third behind Saquon at 20.6 and McCaffrey at 19. And then you have Jonathan Taylor at 14, so he's just above Taylor.
Good for Derrick.
Yeah.
I was going to say, late in his career, definitely balled out last year, and good for the Ravens.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's the highest contract for any running back over 30.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
which just makes sense.
That's a feat of its own. Like running back is a young man's game. So
yeah, I honestly wouldn't have thought he would have gotten that. Because I think he got like $8 million last year or whatever, or like the other contract he just signed with the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, good for him. Good for running backs in general, I guess.
I like Derrick Henry on the Ravens. It is a fun watch. I also like that one of the best highlights of our season is Cooper DeJean just laying him out. So having him stay on the Ravens for do we play the Ravens? Is that confirmed?
Well, I know like I said, we have all of our opponents.
I know. I'm trying to. I remember seeing the picture. I can't remember if we actually play them or not.
Home is Cowboys, Giants, Commanders, Bears, Broncos, Lions, Raiders, Rams. Away is Cowboys, Giants, Commanders, Packers, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, Bills, Buccaneers. So
no Ravens. Okay.
Looks like we play the NFC. We might play the NFC West or the AFC West. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFC North.
Any other NFL news?
Not that I can think of.
No.
Other than you have like Trey Hendrickson sitting out in Cincinnati because he doesn't have a new deal.
Did we talk about George Pickens?
I want to say we did.
Was that last week?
I can check. We did. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I was saying, pretty sure. I would be kind of surprised.
I can remember when that news dropped, but
yeah, I mean, some of this stuff with the players, like you signed a contract, you should kind of play. I mean, I understand like if the team wants to, you can adjust it, but like if you're gonna say you're gonna sit out, it's like you signed for that length of time.
Yeah, but I feel like apparently there was discussions about if he wanted it last year, and there was discussions of I'll play out this year and really earn it. And then he led the league in sacks last year. And then he said the discussion that we had prior to the season and what I thought I was playing for that season isn't what was reciprocated. I did my end of the bargain, and they aren't showing me the love that I busted my ass for.
Well, you're playing to win games.
You absolutely are, but he kind of was coming out I can't control the price tag of my position. I'm playing a top guy in this position. It's not my fault that price is that's a very valuable
I
position.
get that, but at the same time, you signed the contract that you did. You could have signed a shorter one. Granted, it wouldn't give you as much guarantee, it wouldn't give you as much safety on your side, but signed for that many years.
So I'm not for sitting out, obviously.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't. You can argue and try and get a new contract. I'm not. I'm all for that.
I would.
I'm just the sitting out thing, and
Yeah, I agree with that. to a point too. But I also agree with him having every right to be pissed off and saying I want to get traded.
Yeah,
and
no,
like announcing like, hey, I'm not happy here. I'm not happy with the way you guys have handled this. Like, I want to get traded immediately. And like, granted, they had the power to literally be like, we're not trading you, and then that's what turns into.
Well, all of that I'm fine with, like requesting a trade. I mean, and also like I'm fine with sitting out for part of like the camp as long as you're not like going to the season being like I'm sitting out, because like at that point it's then like you can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean you obviously can, but you're gonna get fined.
Like, it's such a touchy because like football is such a like an injury sport too. Like it's like you can get hurt on any given play, especially on the line, dude. So many people come down on your legs and stuff. It's the gambling on yourself, and like you think you played that season that would warrant getting that extension that you want. And then it's like, if I go into this final year of my contract and God forbid I get hurt in the beginning of the season, like now I literally don't have money for the ongoing future.
I mean, he's a millionaire. He has money for a long time.
Absolutely, but your career, like you'd like to get reassured when like if your the last year of your contract's coming up and you just had a season like that, you'd like to not have this like thing on your shoulder of being like, this could be like if I get hurt here, I am gonna jeopardize and I'm not gonna make anywhere near as much money.
I agree, and like that's why from like that perspective, I'm fine with like requesting a trade and whatnot.
Yeah, which I also commends the Eagles and like how Lurie
extends them before it's even worried.
Before it even is like a thought. Like that's the way you do it. That's why you're a good owner. But
because then the other side of it is the Browns guaranteed $250 million to Deshaun Watson. That guy stinks and has barely played and gotten injured. So it's like even if he gets hurt, no matter what, they still have to pay him that money. They release him, yes, they have to pay him that money. So from that side, they can't just at any point be like, oh, I'm not going to pay you. They signed a contract saying they will pay him that money.
Trey Anderson doesn't have any sketchy allegations. And
I'm not saying
is an admirable character.
But like, if anyone were to get injured, that is what happens. Like,
right.
If it's guaranteed money, it's guaranteed money.
I think they gave a lot of money to a bum.
I agree, and a rapist.
Yeah, so I don't have any sympathy for the Browns for that matter.
I don't either. I'm just saying that's an example. Maybe not the best because no one really respects that
He's
guy.
Kind of a douche.
Yeah. Enough NFL talk. MLB. Schwarber's been our best player. Hopefully MVP.
Home run leader currently.
Tied with Aaron Judge and Corbin Carroll. Because I don't think he hit one today. That would have been
Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, he's got 14.
Bitch, dude, I couldn't do shit when I bet on him.
But then also Rob Manfred, the GM, the commissioner of the MLB, has reinstated Pete Rose and all of the members of the 1919 White Sox that were put on the exclusion list for the Hall of Fame and stuff like that.
Right.
So Shoeless Joe Jackson is available for the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I mean, I guess good for Pete Rose. He was helpful for us for our World Series, well, our first one, whatnot. So I mean, really good player, definitely deserves it. I think don't really know much about Shoeless Joe other than he, the betting scandal or whatever, or apparently they're fixing games, but he played so well. I don't know how he would have.
Yeah, he's not throwing games. So.
Yeah. Yeah, good for them. We'll probably see baseball. Some of those people that vote on those are very stuck in their old time. So some of them might just, be old guys having a grudge and be like, no, I'm not going to put him in.
Mm-hmm.
He bet on his team to win.
Yeah, I mean, it is a strict rule that they do have to, toe a hard line. Like, they can't have any leeway with, which I understand.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's also, it's a legal rule. I'm pretty sure these are allegations, but I'm pretty sure he might have done some things with minors.
Okay.
Allegations that I read online. Yeah, those are allegations, so if those aren't true, please don't sue me. Moving on to something a little more positive, we have the NBA and our lottery results.
Mm-hmm.
Our Philadelphia 76ers did get the third overall pick, so we will be keeping our pick unless we trade it now. But.
See, I'd be happy about this if it wasn't so rigged.
Yeah, no, it's definitely rigged. The Mavericks, it's pretty...
The consistency of trading away a top player to a big franchise and then getting the first pick the following draft is sketchy to say the least, I'd say.
You have CP3 back in the day traded, and then
got Anthony Edwards.
Hornets
after that,
get
right?
it.
And then
no, the Hornets, like back in the day, I think they got it after CP3 got traded from the Hornets.
Right.
LeBron and the Cavs getting Kyrie.
They got the Zion after
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Pelicans, and now the Mavericks.
Mavericks just
trade
Luke away for absolutely nothing. The most sketchy trade we've seen in ages, which everyone looked at was like, how could this make any sense ever? Why would you not shop the guy for the market? Like, this is the most brain dead trade ever, and then they jump like 6 or so people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
and
almost
get the
surprised they
first
didn't
pick.
rig it purposely so that we didn't have these allegations and
Yeah,
conspiracies that it's rigged.
there is not one team in the entire NBA that could get that first pick and that would seem more suspicious than the Dallas Mavericks.
And it's also like it was the fourth, I think, lowest odds or percent chance of getting the first round pick ever that like actually was successful.
Crazy.
But the full list is Dallas 1, San Antonio 2, Philadelphia 3, Charlotte 4, Utah 5, Washington 6, New Orleans 7, Brooklyn 8, Toronto 9, Houston 10, Portland 11, Chicago 12, Atlanta from Sacramento 13, San Antonio from Atlanta 14. I might have got the numbers mixed up there at the end, but just that is the order.
That's all right. Oh, I just got chill.
The Thunder still have 2 first-round picks, so that's cool.
Which is crazy, too.
So they would have had a third if we had like the 7th pick.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. What a team.
Just not fair. And they might be going to the conference finals.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they got the Nuggets now.
But I think the guy I'm seeing that we're probably going to get, Ace Bailey from Rutgers, I will be doing more of a deep dive over the weekend look way more into him.
I had like so many people ask me today, like, who do you think, like, because like guys at work know that the sports podcast, and they're like, so who are the Sixers getting now? Who are the Sixers getting? I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know many people in this draft besides Cooper Flagg. Like, I have not done my research much at all.
Yeah, Harper at 2 and Ace Bailey at 3, both on the same Rutgers team, so they must have went real far in the tournament.
They didn't even make the tournament.
Yeah, no, that's the joke.
That's
they
crazy.
Possibly the 2nd and 3rd pick in the NBA draft, and they didn't do
make
anything.
the tournament. Unreal. Like how does that even happen?
The rest of their team was bad.
Ugh, that's brutal. Like,
but that to be that bad is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's like how bad you gotta be if you have the 2nd and 3rd player in the draft and you didn't make the tournament is insane.
Granted, the Big Ten we had so many teams, but yeah, I'll be looking more at that. I know he's a shooting guard, small forward, so he's a wing, which is nice. We don't need more small guards. But the only series we have done so far in the first round is Pacers Cavs, done in 5. I mean, once Cavs got Mobley, Garland, and Hunter back, I thought maybe they had a chance. No, not even close.
Pacers just
steamrolled.
Yeah, what a performance! What a story! Like the 1 seed getting like to lose and to lose in that fashion is crazy.
And the 2 seed way they're gonna go out.
Yeah, but 2 seed like. They lost like a star in Tatum.
They lost a star in the last like 3 minutes of the
game.
fourth. You're
right.
Yeah.
They were going to
lose that game. Go down 3-1 anyway.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like
so that's the only thing that's annoying. It's like now they're going to be able to use that as an excuse. Be like, oh, well, we would have came back 3-1.
But again,
we would have came back 3-1.
The way they've been losing is what's so crazy too.
Oh, the 3rd game was the only one that was close, really.
Yeah, but like
game, the 3rd win of
every game though. They've been up by like 18 to 20 points.
Yeah, the first 2, yeah.
It's been insane. Like, it makes no sense how they've been, like, blowing these leads. And, like I said, go down 3-1. And, yes, I can definitely see teams, like, we could have done, like, or Boston fans being like, we could have done it. Like, you never know. But it's like, dude, like, you were, like you said, that game was lost 3-1 for the and you'd been down 3-1, which is a very tough feat to come back from. It's definitely an excuse they're going to use, but I think they were the 1 and 2 seed rightfully got beat.
I mean, the Pacers are fun to watch. I like watching Halliburton. Got him on my dynasty team as well, so
nice.
I'll be rooting for him. Which, I mean, we did skip over the NFL, but we did have our recent dynasty draft or our rookie draft.
Yeah, which you had the first pick overall.
Ashton Genty, yep.
Good on you.
the team.
I
excited because I needed running backs bad.
Late 2nd round, got
Jackson
Dart. Could be a fun one. I got Josh Allen as a quarterback, so I'm not going to ever play him. But
I needed running backs bad. The guy I was kind of banking on last year, Jonathan Brooks, tore his ACL at the end of the season. I had him out for another season.
This is a tough one for me. Yeah, I did see that.
I was like, that's why. After that happened, I was like, I need the first overall pick. This is gonna be bad if I don't get it.
It was so funny because I was on the Jonathan Brooks bandwagon so hard, and I missed him in I was in 4 leagues, and I kept missing him by 2 picks. And I got him in 1, and then he just sat on the bench the entire time. Never came in at all. And then I remember with yours in the Dynasty, I'm like, this is a huge pick to get him in Dynasty. And you took him. I'm like, you you're the only one that I think would have actually taken him where you took him. I was sitting there I got to get him here. Someone might after me, but no one will before me. This is my perfect time. And then you took it 3 picks ahead of me. I'm like,
because I went heavy wide receiver in the beginning, and then I was like, I'm just gonna punt on running back. But running backs Jonathan Brooks and Nick Chubb did not have a good season last year, obviously. Although I did get Chubb a hybrid, so it wasn't too bad.
I have one good running back. My second one is Jags.
ETN.
ETN, who did not have a good season.
Yeah,
and,
now they got Tank Bigsby.
Tank Bigsby taking reps off him. So, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with the second running back position here.
Yeah. No, I got a couple options. But back to the NBA, the one thing I will say is, I mean, I hate the Celtics, but I was almost partially kind of rooting for the Knicks to win.
Yeah.
Or no, I was kind of partially rooting for the Celtics to win the series because I don't want the Knicks to have anything over us. Because, like, big thing, we haven't been to the conference finals since 2001. Knicks haven't been in longer. So now they can be like, if they make it, they're going to be like, well, you know, Embiid's still never gotten there.
I hate saying this, obviously, especially as a sports podcast, but I, like, saw a post where it was like, I think it was Daryl Morey, it was like, we're full head over heels sticking with Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid. And I'm like, I don't think we can win anything with this group right now. Like, honestly, like,
I mean, if they're healthy, but that's all the whole.
I don't know.
It's an if.
I don't think we're gonna get a healthy season out of all three of them ever. It's like I feel like we're not gonna see good Sixers, and I think we're going down before we go up.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
It's not looking good, and I don't think it's gonna look good for a while. And I hate, like I said, I hate saying this as a sports podcast, but like I'm almost like just cashing out on the Sixers, and I think I'll have to be for a few years now. Like,
no, it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna go in with almost no hope every season and
Yeah.
just try and get those cheap tickets and go to games, have fun, and like I'll watch, but like I'm not gonna get my hopes up until maybe we get to the playoffs. And like even then, it's like we have to get past the second round that we haven't been able to get past in years.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just didn't want the Knicks last year beating us in the playoffs. They started to talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And now this gives them even more to talk because they're beating the Celtics. It's not like they're beating like another team. So
they didn't have a cakewalk. They did. Yeah. They whooped the Celtics.
They just go bing bong. Knicks
bong.
beating you guys. I don't want that.
It sucks because I do hate the Celtics more. So I like.
But at the same time, they could talk as much as they want. It doesn't matter.
It would suck for Celtics to win and then the Knicks win the following year. Like that would blow.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like with the Eagles. Like we got shit on for so many years. We had no Super Bowl, and then we finally got one. And they're like, "Oh, well, we have more." And then we win another one. They're like, "I can't really say anything now."
Yeah.
Moving on to
real quick, who do you want to be in the NBA Finals?
Oh, I would Pacers and Thunder.
Pacers.
That
Thunder?
would be. I mean, I'm fine with either team in the West, to be honest, but I'm definitely going Pacers.
Was it Thunder and Wolves? Right.
Yeah.
See, I think Wolves would be sick too, though. Like I love Wolves more.
I love Ant, so I have no problem with them.
Right. I want Ant. I actually want the Wolves to win. I want Ant. I like Ant probably the most out of all the players in the playoffs right now. I probably think Ant's my favorite. Ant and then Halliburton. So I would say Wolves Pacers.
I'm a big Shea fan.
I haven't followed Shea enough to give a fuck about the
That's
Thunder
fair.
at all.
But I mean, I also on this podcast I did pick the Thunder and I think Duke way before March Madness as my two teams I was rooting forward. Duke didn't do it, but hopefully.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get right one prediction.
Okay.
So that's part of the sentiment. But Ant is one of my favorite players as well, so I wouldn't mind seeing him. I just
listen
for the idea that Knicks are close enough in location and a rival in so to speak.
Well, I'm not picking the Knicks. Obviously, I think we're both on the Pacers bandwagon, but like
go Pace go.
Go Pace go. And and then you got Thunder, I got Wolves, so we'll have something to root for.
Yeah. But yeah, going into that, neither series in the West is done yet. But Timberwolves up 3-1. They've
against Golden State, right?
Yep, against Golden State. They've game 5 tonight at home. Oh, which I saw Draymond was fined $50,000 for his comments regarding the spread.
Oh yeah, he did say something about like we can at least cover the spread.
Yeah, I think he said that to the other team. So that was, I thought
he said it to his bench. Like just
cover,
just cover.
I thought he said something like, "Oh, we're gonna cover."
Either way,
so
real stupid move.
Making an inappropriate comment that questions the integrity of game officials. Bowed out of the contest, but was seen making a hand gesture and seemingly discussing the final betting line with the Warriors. While the Warriors trail by 6, reportedly mouthing spread is 5.5 to teammates within 5 seconds left.
Right,
15 seconds left.
Which again,
the Warriors hit a 3 on the next possession to cover and lose by 5.
Like I don't get what you're even going for by saying that. That's not rallying the team at all. Like yo guys, just don't lose by more than 5. Like,
well, it's like the one thing I kind of make sense for a little bit more is like college football because like it's very arbitrary in terms of like who makes it like where the rankings are. Like it's not just like the NFL or like NBA where like you win your games and you're in. Like it's
a point spread thing.
Yeah, so like it's like you need to kill teams. So like if the spread's 15 and you win by 21 instead of 10.
Yeah.
The people like doing the rankings are like, "Oh, well they beat the spread."
The same thing as the losing end. Like if you're going to lose, at least keep it close. Yeah. And like I get it in that sense. But the NBA has no
No, especially
no
in the
factor
playoffs
in that
itself.
matter.
Once
Yeah.
the players are going, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it's a weird comment. If I'm on the same team as him and I have a dude be like, "Yo, guys, just don't lose by 5.5,"
Yeah.
like I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you saying? Like, we're about to lose the playoffs, about to get kicked out of the playoffs, go down 3-1, and you're telling me about the betting spread on our game.
Well,
like,
I mean, if he only got fined $50K, I gotta imagine he put more money on the spread.
yeah,
So he must have
and you
won that
can't
back.
you can't get in trouble for just saying it. He's
Well,
definitely
he
gonna
did.
get. He's gonna get. No, I'm saying as
Yeah.
far as like more
like
than a fine,
suspended,
like
yeah.
a suspension.
Yeah.
Like I think he's gonna get looked into, but like it's still a stupid thing to say. Like it's
Because like I would get like, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily have to be the spread, but like maybe like halftime if you're like, or the Knicks, like you're down by 20. Maybe it's like, hey, let's at least just try and go make it competitive. Let's just try and cut this lead down to like feel better going into the next game. But you're not gonna be like, hey, the spread's only 5.5. The live
Yeah.
spread's 10.5. If we could just cut in between there, I think it'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
Especially with 5 seconds left or 15 seconds left. You're literally just saying, hey, go out there and make a shot and don't let them score.
Right. Like I get it. To your point, you're down your best player. It comes off so much better when you're like, listen, guys, there's a good chance we're not winning this game. Let's just show that we're fighting to the very end.
Yeah.
And, like, keep it close. When you just say it for the betting line, it's like, you're not talking about like the morality of fighting till the end. You're like, yo guys, like, a lot of people probably put money on us. Like, let's make sure they're not too mad at us. Like, it's such a weird, it's a weird line. It really is.
Yeah, they got my goldfish. They said they're gonna kill him if
Yeah.
we don't
Guys, I'm
cover
in
this
I'm
spread.
in deep right now. Like, we really need to cover this line. It's
Tim the
weird.
goldfish is in trouble. We gotta save him. Yeah, and then OKC, I mean, them and Denver has been a good series again. I mean, but other than that game 2 where they blew Denver out, it's been close games and if not OT games so far. So those have definitely been fun to watch. I mean, Jokic threw up a Hail Mary that I think tied the last game up 103 before OKC was able to pull away and win it over. All the series might be over by tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure usually when that happens, the conference finals don't, the date that they start is set. We might be off of basketball for a couple of days.
All right, I'll get started with the hockey news then.
Yep.
So, Flyers officially hired their new head coach.
Okay, yeah, so it's the 21st or the 22nd, so it's going to start. Geez, that's actually, yeah. So it won't start until next Wednesday or Thursday, so we might be waiting a week.
Okay.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, a whole week is pretty crazy.
At least we got the NHL, though.
Yeah,
There
NHL
you
and the
go.
playoffs. NHL playoffs have been absolutely electric. This second round is a lot more kind of like dominating series. 3 of the 4 matchups could be ended as a 4-1 Game 5 series ender. I think there's only one that's tied 2-2 right now. Panthers Leafs, I believe, is the only one tied 2-2. It is, and they play tonight. But all the other ones, you have Canes Capitals. Canes have been absolutely destroying the Capitals, winning 3-1 or win the series 3-1 right now. So Canes have been dominating the Capitals, and they're up 3-1 right now in the series. They've been kind of playing like a slow ball slow puck. They've been like
Slow
playing
ball.
slow ball. Kind of like they're winning in like a boring fashion is what a lot of people are saying. That like are like playing protective. They're just taking advantage of power plays, and they're just keeping the puck out of their zone. Like it's smart hockey obviously, but they're not playing aggressive. So these games are really like kind of dragging on for the most part. It's not an electric, fun series, and they're winning games. They're up 3-1 and they're playing a higher seed. So like you really can't be mad at it.
And I mean, just saying, looking back at our draft for the NHL teams, I have every team that's up 3-1, and I have the Maple Leafs.
Do you really?
So I have the Hurricanes, the Oilers, the
And I don't
Stars,
think
and the Maple Leafs.
I don't have the Panthers.
I think you do.
I
want to say you took the Panthers.
If I didn't, that's a really bad spot for
So
me.
I want to say you took the Panthers, the Caps, the Jets, and I can't think of the other. You might take the Senators.
Yeah, that's a rough spot for me. Anyway, going back, the Flyers head coach Rick Tochette, I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Tochette is how I believe it's pronounced. Was drafted by the Flyers in 1983, 21st, yeah, 121st pick, and started off his career as a fighter more than anything else, which is kind of a cool mentality of the head coach. But he ended up being a solid player all around.
Let's bring
later
some
in
dog
his
mentality
career.
back to Philly.
I was gonna say, bringing some Broad Street bullies back would be pretty sweet. This dude's known to be a tough guy, so again, like I like it. I like the signing. I don't know how he is as a coach fully, but make the team a little tough. I'm all for that.
I think we need a little bit of skill as well, but
But we have skill. I think our guys need to get tougher. In my opinion.
yeah, fair. At least the defense. It's kind of on the topic. I did see he was in a betting scandal where he apparently, I think, was the money guy for a betting group out of New Jersey that he was supplying the money as NHL players would bet into a bookie.
Oh shit. Clarify. Yeah. Capitals are up 3-1. It was the Panthers and Maple Leafs that were tied 2-2. Stars are up 3-1 on the Jets, which is crushing me. That's my future, is the Jets. And the Oilers are up 3-1 on the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which honestly I am shocked about because I thought they were the Knights, the Oilers was fun, but I thought the Knights were gonna dominate the series.
All right. Yeah, here, gambling incident. On February 6, 2006, Touche was served with a criminal complaint accused of financing a nationwide sports gambling ring based in New Jersey in which several current NHL players wagered. The ring was discovered by New Jersey State Police. Yeah, he basically promoted conspiracy and promoting gambling, sentenced to 2 years probation in exchange for his plea. It says he could have received up to 5 years in New Jersey State Prison, but there was a presumption against incarceration for first-time offenders. Yeah, so he's all good.
Nice. Okay, so we're all clear.
Yeah, at least he's also a fan of betting.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, makes me like him even more, honestly.
From a guy that at least was out of the league for it wasn't like Draymond's a little bit different. He's currently in.
Back to the playoffs. The number one series I have been paying attention to the most is Stars Jets. Like I said,
yeah, by far
because of the future and I guess a little bit of I like the Stars too, which makes it harder for me watching this. But the Stars have been dominating. I kind of going against my future here. Stars, I think, will be in the Stanley Cup. I think it's going to be...
So I'm kind of rooting for Stars Maple Leafs at this point.
Stars Maple Leafs, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't really have any...
I don't want the Canes to be in the
yeah, that's
Cup.
Kind of yeah.
So either of the teams coming out of Toronto Maple Leafs, Florida Panthers, and I would probably be leaning Toronto just because Florida just did it.
Yeah, and Toronto hasn't done it in years.
Yeah, and then if it's Dallas, we would... Remember we were talking about Oilers Leafs would be sweet if we had a Canada on Canada action. Dallas would be the one to end that too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind the Oilers being in there because I wouldn't mind seeing McDavid and Draisaitl get one.
But if it does end up being Stars Maple Leafs, I'm 100% on the Stars. We're rooting Team America at that point.
Yeah, well, that and I mean, not to be mean, but sometimes I don't root for my friends' teams.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and Dallas in particular.
Yeah, especially, but with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, I'm fine with rooting for Dallas
here.
Yeah, right. In that case, because sometimes it's just you can't. I don't want you to have a happiness when I don't.
And again, Dallas, the Stars...
To an extent. I mean, I'm not a psychopath.
The Stars and the Rangers, honestly, it's just the Cowboys. Because I'm thinking about, I like the Mavs. I like the Mavs. I don't like what they did.
When he had the Mavs in the finals, and I think the Stars were getting closer in the Stanley Cup finals as well, I was like, it's going to really piss me off if he gets 2 here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I do remember that last year.
I was like, kind of can't have that happen.
Yeah. No, I 100% do remember.
Especially because that was right after we had been to the Super Bowl, to the World Series, and lost all of them.
Yeah, but I think after watching what happened to the Mavs, the losing, I have a lot more leeway with I'm cool with rooting for the Stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have they make it to the Stanley Cup? But yes, I do think Stars. There's the way they're beating the Jets right now. The team is disgusting. The guy we talked about last week with the whole
Rantanen
or Rustanen,
Rantanen,
yeah,
Rantanen,
yes, yeah. We didn't crush the naming, but he's been an absolute wagon. Last game it wasn't him scoring, but he did get an assist. Mikael Granlund. Again, I'm not great with the names, but they beat the Jets 3-1. He had all 3 goals. So
they just have hat tricks in every game.
Yeah, they do be getting hat tricks, but just the Stars just look like a fast, well-rounded team. The Panthers are a bully team, so I do like that too. They kind of kick the shit out of everybody. So I think I would be leaning Florida. I don't love the idea of a Florida Stars.
No, yeah.
Stanley Cup.
Florida teams in general are kind of hard to root for hockey. It's just I don't. It's a weird kind of dynamic.
All right, that's pretty much all my NHL talk.
Move into The Last of Us, our pop culture.
I did ask Ryan before we started recording. I'm breaking down what I remember from the episode. I'm there's gotta be something I'm missing because I can't imagine what was in my head that I remembered was a full episode. And then I remembered this was one of the shortest episodes of, at least it is the shortest episode of this season.
Yeah.
The second shortest or tied for the shortest.
It's, with the season 1 finale, which was, I think, also the same time.
The entire series. So, understandably why it did feel shorter. That being said, I did enjoy the episode a lot.
Yeah, and there was one thing I did find out. I mean, I didn't think it was really a spoiler because I kind of could get, but it was someone. It had been explained to me. I think this might have been prior to this week's out. Yeah, because it was prior to yesterday. So I kind of had an idea the time he was going to come back, but I had heard that in the game the difference was Tommy just immediately leaves for Seattle. Finds out Joel dies. No, finds out Joel dies, immediately leaves, and then Dina and Ellie are kind of
Oh.
trying to track him and follow him.
No
So
shit.
he gets to Seattle before they do. Apparently, already shit up. So it looks like they might have kind of flip flopped it, at least the timing.
Okay.
Don't know if they said that was the only little bit. I don't know if Jesse had ever made it to there in the game.
That's
But I
interesting.
do kind of like that because it makes more sense. It's like I really don't believe that Tommy wouldn't go.
They
And also, like, I don't believe at all for 1 second that Ellie and Dina are going to be able to do it by themselves.
No. The only reason they thought that was the fact that they didn't hear much of the Wolves, so they thought that the crew
Yeah.
that was there that took out Joel was pretty much all they would have.
Yeah, but then once
Gross
they get there,
understatement.
I think they could have, they could have at any point turned around and said, maybe we go back.
Yeah. I mean, Dino says it off the rip when they see the WLF
Oh,
on
the
the
big
tower.
tower,
She's
yeah.
like, you don't do that unless you're not concerned about if people find you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're a small little battalion, you're not posting your company name on the Seattle or the city that you're residing in to
And,
let
like,
everybody know.
You're in there and you see all the dead bodies. Like they have bulletproof vests and like assault rifles. So maybe like,
Like, oh shit, this is like a military battalion.
yeah. I mean, other than like the fact that like they're in the middle of a war, so maybe it's a little bit easier to. But at the same time, they're in the middle of a war, so it's not going to be easy. They're going to be high on alert, be on guard.
But Ellie's got a sniper that's better. Trade it.
It doesn't
It's
really matter if
better.
they're inside, or if you're inside with a bunch of stalkers, smart ones.
Yeah. So going through, episode starts fresh after the sex scene, and they're all lovey-dovey. I think Dina's like mapping out.
Just triangulating,
Yeah.
using the radio comms by the WLF to kind of understand like, they're saying they're in this location, this location, this location. So where at are we not seeing? I guess she's probably getting like times where like they're saying, oh, this group is going and like going around and figuring out where they might be able to slip in a gap to get to the hospital.
Yeah, which I like that they kind of break down like why are they talking so much and like why are they just like giving away all their information, and it kind of is like assumed that their enemy, the Scarfaces,
Yeah, the
don't
Amish.
use technology, and they can safely say all this without having to be concerned about someone being infiltrated. Like they lost the walkie and they didn't immediately try and find it. Like they know that their most common enemy isn't going to use walkies or any kind of technology like that, so they're safe from that. I'm impressed with Dina mapping everything out. The end result of the mapping is they plan a route that involves a very long building that they just are not going near whatsoever. Immediate red flag for me.
Well, yeah, I mean they know that too.
Right. But like
Should have been more of a red flag. Which I was
Should've
kind of
been-
thinking like, couldn't we just like gone like on the outside of the building? Did we
Yeah.
have to go in the building?
I said, like you wait till nighttime and then like slowly stalk the outside. Like if they're not, I get like if they think that they can pull off walk like, but that's the other thing is like that like if you use a gun you're screwed. So like you know that this building, if like it's such a long, big building, like they would be using this without a doubt. There's a reason that they aren't like they're a full military battalion. You don't think if they could clear that out, they would have?
Well, because like even like who's to say that it's not like locked from the outside in terms of like the building itself? Like, so like, yeah, they get in. Who's to say that they don't get to the other side and it's locked from the outside? There's no way to break through.
Right.
So you could just be screwed and have to go back and backtrack and then go around anyway.
Yeah, like they were able to figure out that or determine that it had to be because of the clickers that were in this building. That's why they don't want to touch them. But the confidence to think that they could pull it off when this entire, like I said, military crew isn't interested in clearing out this building for usage makes no sense whatsoever. Like you two can't clear a building better than the entire WLF, and that's like it's
especially without using guns because like they said we can't use guns 'cause
Right, and
otherwise
stealthily,
they're gonna hear us.
yeah. So that I think that whole game plan was silly.
And really, the only way of like doing that is like you have to get in there and you can't really go slowly. You have to run. I'm sorry, you have to just start booking it. Just do it so fast, and maybe by the time the clickers like hear you and stuff like that.
Yeah, but then you're when you come out of the building, you're not like on the other side.
Well,
of the
I mean,
building,
you could stop a little bit at the end of it.
But like what I'm saying is when you get to the end and like you're out of the building and you have what could be like 10, 15 clickers chasing after you, you can't like go back to being stealthy. Really, they're gonna be like
I guess
hauling
that's
ass.
fair. I mean,
it's hard to go from like I'm gonna sprint through this infested building. To
I just think with the idea of like
stealth.
it being infested, you can't go slow. You're gonna get like, as they were ambushed.
Yeah. So you clear out, or your plans to clear out this building stealthily, which is just the overconfidence of these two is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, it doesn't work out, and we get another visit from the stealthy smart clickers.
Yeah, the stalkers.
Stalkers.
I mean, the noise they make is pretty spooky.
And it's just the like she sees the one on top of like the shelf, and then it's like, and just like dips out fast as shit. Like, yeah, they are creepy as shit. I do love these stalkers in the show. They are really really cool.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder because I know, like last year we got like the bloater or whatever they kind of
like the tank
versions. And I'm pretty sure like they're supposed to be like an evolution or whatever. Like they've been had like the infection for longer. I wonder what part of evolution are these? Because that's the only thing that doesn't make sense to me. Or is it just a general evolution of the spores?
I think it's
like being better at like controlling the minds.
Yeah,
or,
I would say it's the evolution is the mushroom or whatever we're calling it.
It's a fungus.
Fungus, yeah. The fungus like learning how to keep the mind and like the brainwaves intact enough that it can like form, I guess, like thought, like I said, like the other ones are just like brainless, just full speed sprinters, which they know how to like maneuver. Like they can handle them because they know that they can just trick them into. Yeah. They're just gonna blindly sprint at you.
Yeah, and they're all
so. I think the fungus evolution is it's not just completely turning the brain off. It's still leaving brainwaves enough to can have a thought, but it's thoughts that they control. Like the fungus is still in control and making it do what it wants, but it's able to access the brain, I should say.
I got you. That makes sense.
Which I like
it.
I mean,
it's cool. It definitely adds a new element because like before it was like, all right, this is kind of easy.
Yeah, like I said, if it's not a horde, you can handle them fairly well. But in this sense,
outside of like that little bit last year, like I feel like we really haven't seen. I mean, we got the big horde, but like, I feel like there's been like less of like stealthily trying to go around these zombies and stuff like that. It's either been huge hordes and just like, all right, you got to fight it out, which to a point kind of gets annoying.
I also thought with these stalkers, like, yes, they're very creepy. I did not imagine to get them like teaming up and like swarming.
Oh no, I didn't.
Like,
I didn't.
That was truly terrifying. They're like you see that, you're like, we 100% are dead here. Like there is no shot of winning this on our own, like at all. They made that conscious decision there. They're like, Dina, you sprint for that little gated, fenced-in area because there's no shot of both of us surviving this.
Yeah. Which also was dumb because there's no way she's gonna survive that. If Jesse didn't show up, she was also dying because they rip off
they tore apart that fence. Yeah, I mean,
which I get the idea. Like, all right, in the meantime, yeah, like you have a better chance going there and shooting out than being out here. But I guess when Jesse did come in, I did think it was the wolf for a second.
I thought it was Isaac. I
just thought it was a general wolf. I didn't.
Yeah. But I thought that was going to be our big introduction to Isaac to the girls. But Jesse I was blown away. I was like,
that's pretty sick.
Jesse, that's awesome. Like,
but it's also like how much, I mean, granted, he has a machine gun. How much better he did compared to her? Kind of annoying.
Oh, he just cleared them all out so fast.
Pop.
Which, again, leads me to like, if these are smarter, like once you get like 2 shots on, they should have scattered immediately. And like, then he's fucked too. But leading up to this, came to one of my favorite lines delivered in the show, which was Jesse is like they picked them up. They are walking into the park, and Jesse like says something along the lines of like, I'm still not talking to you right now. Like, I'm still not happy with you.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, we've been fine. Like we would have handled like, and like Ellie was going at him like we could have handled it. We've been doing just fine on our own. And he's like, until what? And then she was like, until we weren't doing fine on our own. Like, until we weren't able to handle ourselves. Like, and that was his whole thing. Like, yeah, like, don't give me this full confidence. Like, we were doing just fine on our own. Like, until I literally saved both of your lives. Yeah. Like, you guys were dead. You guys were 100%
she's
dead.
Immune, but she's already gotten bitten.
She was gonna.
So like technically,
she was about to get ripped apart by them, though.
Yeah, but she's already been bitten. So like if she wasn't immune, which he doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Which Dina was quickly like, no, she wasn't bitten. She wasn't bitten yet. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, Tommy knows that she's immune as well, so he can vouch for her. So I imagine we'll probably end up telling Jesse.
I don't know, but they got separated right now. So until they reconnect,
but they're gonna reconnect with Tommy in the morning anyway. Yeah, I guarantee they're gonna rendezvous, even if she's not back yet. Just be like, hey,
I'm worried Tommy's like a hostage.
Oh, I doubt it.
I don't know. I could really see like
that dude's over.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Like we didn't see what happened with Jesse and Dina afterwards, but like, so just before we get too far ahead, they sprint into a park. The wolves stop following them because that is Scarface territory.
I think the first assumption is which I think their
I didn't know if
assumption
it was
was
gonna
also
be clickers or scars.
I assume clickers as well.
Yeah,
I mean
was my
that
first
just
thought.
it seems way too close for that to be the Scar territory.
That blew my mind.
Because it's also they said park. I'm assuming a small park in the middle of a city.
Yeah.
Not like something that keeps going.
I think it is
So
a
it's like,
park in the middle of the
it's
city.
basically saying, like they're in Central Park, which Central Park is huge, but it's also way bigger than what I would assume this is.
It is crazy to think about. Like this park, I think, like it could be on the edge of the city.
I'm just gonna look up Seattle and see if I can find a park.
See if they have a massive park that's surrounded by the city. But like, you're right. That was so close to all of the Wolves' territory that I was like, how the hell can they lock down this park? I guess it's with their clicking noise, but still, dude, like, I don't understand how they are that. Is that the park?
There are some big parks. I don't know which. I mean, you have this Puget Park, which is pretty long.
Yeah.
You have Madison Washington Park Arboretum, which
Yeah,
is pretty big.
they
It's
do
pretty
have
big.
some-
So honestly, I could understand.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah,
They just have
Volunteer
big-ass
Park.
parks.
It's not nearly as big, which I doubt is that one. So I mean, all right, that makes a little more sense.
It's still crazy though. Like, oh, they are in this park that's surrounded by the city that we have locked down, which is. But so they go in there. The wolves stop following
It's
them.
almost like you could just I mean, forest fires are bad.
Oh no,
But
100%.
I'm
You're right
surprised
here,
the
though.
wolves aren't just like, yeah, let's torch it.
Yeah, like
Let's
the world's
get 'em
going to
out of
shit.
there.
I think we can live with that, like with burning down this park that we know our enemy is residing in, and just wait for them.
Yeah, I don't like.
I
If you're in war, you're in war.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a war crime, but I don't know.
yeah, but I don't think
it
there's.
is.
I don't think there's really war crimes if they're like.
Well,
they're-
obviously in this aspect, no.
yeah.
I'm just saying I don't want to be suggesting something that's a war crime.
I don't think it even is. Well,
I don't think it is.
They drop bombs on people.
Yeah, no, I know, but the fire itself might be that's the.
I don't know.
Although we did do that to the Japanese.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
Not
think
to get political, but
I think
historical.
I think dropping a bomb is equal to setting a forest fire.
Yeah, fair.
But
Especially with what they're doing. I mean, they're just using a sickle cell as they're hanging you and
Yeah.
just cutting out your guts.
which
Ugh.
I was gonna say, leading up to that, they see that it is the Scarfaces that are there because they walk up on one of them interviewing. I guess it is a wolf that they're kind of
it's gotta
interrogating.
be.
But they got him hanging on the neck. He puts a little stool underneath him, and then he what
little
are they? Are
bucket.
they sickles? Is that what
Sickles,
it's
yeah.
called?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Sickle
So he
blade.
like jabs into his stomach, and instead
Oh.
of slicing,
Just
they pull him
yank
up
him
to
up.
him, which I was
Oh.
like, that is, it was sick. It
Yeah,
was
no,
so
it was
cool.
cool.
But it also is like you gotta think about all the guys they did it to when we caught all them with in the
Yep.
last episode with all their organs. Like that is such a crazy it's just an extra level to it. Instead of like slicing them, jabbing them, and then having the boys just yank them up is
Yeah, because it almost gives them more time to think about it. Be like, oh, I did just get pulled there. Because like once
you got gutted by your neck getting
Yeah.
yanked. Like that is brutal.
yeah,
I was gonna say it was a 16. I loved it. These Scarfaces are badass. I do like
Yep.
them. They're crazy cultists, but they are sick. They added good thing to the show, which I love their addition.
and then
But-
Dana gets shot in the leg.
Yeah, it takes an arrow to
the knee.
Yeah, brutal to watch. Which separates our group then.
Yep, yeah, because Ellie says she's gonna go distract them, which she does successfully as they go, and they're gonna rendezvous back at the theater, or whatever. Which one thing I want to say is, how in the hell did Jesse find that? Because he said they're like, oh, how'd you find us? He goes, oh, I found the theater, and then I found your map. How in the hell did you find the theater?
Yeah.
You're telling me he just walked around the city and randomly walked into the theater that they were in and
Dude's
stayed
a
in?
fucking bloodhound tracking every single one of their steps. Like he is taking the same exact route as them and finding all their like breadcrumbs and oh, I saw your map. Like how the fuck did you get to that exact location? Like
He had to have found the
do you think
Found-
sparkle or sprinkles in the
found the horse, then saw the WLF tower. I was like, that's probably where they went.
shimmer? I think it's
Shimmer, yeah, that's probably where they went. Let me go there, and then somehow snuck because he also had them been sneaking around.
Yeah.
Then just turned around, and goes, oh, maybe this little random thing by the subway
Mm-hmm.
is where they are now.
But even that, they got this theater, by taking some crazy routes, right?
They were in that thing, and then they went. Snuck into the subway.
They crawled through a
Escaped the
tiny
subway.
gap. This
It's
wasn't a traditional route that took them there.
No, that's what I'm. So I
It's crazy. I don't know how he did it. Maybe he had shimmer. Can horses sniff out?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Take me to Ellie, shimmer. But yeah, so again, it is crazy that he was able to find them. He does find them with Gina taking an arrow to the knee. He picks her up, takes her elsewhere. Ellie then draws them out into the hospital.
Well, no, she draws them away, and then they stop because they can't find her as she's hiding in a tree.
Yeah,
and
which another. Oh, this is the Scarface is chasing her. I was thinking of someone else.
Where how they just stopped?
They all were like tracking her down. They're all hearing her. They're all whistling, and they all come to like in a circle, coming from different directions. Come to one big ass tree. I'm looking at the tree to see if there's any divots underneath.
At least up.
Yeah.
At least she climbed.
They were like, oh, how do we all end up here? Like, darn, she lost
well,
us.
That's
like,
just, I mean, it is based on a video game. That is just pure video game enemy logic. Where
it's like you hide in a shadow, they can't see you.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
If you let your star ticker starts like blinking.
Yeah.
If you're out of sight for long enough, that even if like once it goes away, if they see you again, they're like, oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's just video game logic.
If you hide in the dark for 2 seconds, your heat gets taken off. But like, if you're chasing after somebody and your whole search party ends up at one location. Maybe look into that location a little harder.
Especially because it seemed like they stopped immediately.
They stopped. They all were just like pouting, angry, like looking around, like, how do we let her get away?
Like the wolves not going into the park because it's Scar territory. That makes sense. And maybe the Scars are like, this is at a certain point we don't go past this. But it didn't seem like that. It just seemed like they're like, I haven't seen her for 5 seconds. I'm going to give up.
No, I think they were like, let's look elsewhere. Which like.
No, I think they said, let's go back.
I thought they like kind of just like scattered to keep looking. But like it just, like I said, it pissed me off. I'm like when I saw all of them get to there, and I'm like, she definitely like dived under that tree, and I'm like, one of them has to think of it. Like,
oh yeah,
a single like these people don't use technology.
They've been living in this park for a while, probably. How does no child gotten in there?
Right, they should know. First of all, they should know about every single hiding spot you could possibly have. They are nature oriented. Like the way they must be surviving right now is using the elements, using nature, and like tracking. How the hell can they like get like just dumbfounded by a hole under a tree? That pissed me off a lot. But regardless, the show would be over.
Yep.
Like they got to keep the show alive.
She finally gets to, but she sees the hospital when she gets out of the tree, and she's like, "I'm so close. I'm just gonna go."
Yeah, it was like a deciding moment for her. Like, do I go find them or do I Abby in the hospital?
Which I don't blame. Like this kind of choice probably makes more sense than trying to go with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it is. I mean, they're going to be upset. Gets there. She gets caught by a dog, but the guy's like, it's probably just a little critter because she sneaks into a little hole, which I don't know how that led to inside the hospital at all.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I understood the logic of, like, that hole was small enough that only, like, a child could fit. Like,
I understand,
small
like,
person.
the guard being like,
it's
probably just a critter.
But, I mean, I don't know how that led to the hospital.
Because we know the basement's off limits because it's got spores in the air.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Unless maybe she did come from the basement, but I doubt it.
We didn't talk about that opening scene, but yeah.
No, that's what I was kind of...
Yeah, whatever. We get to it. We end up getting to it.
Yeah, but because I think I know from the video games, the spores are also in the air. Like, that's kind of one of the big ways you get it is through the air. And I think most people assumed they weren't doing it in the show so that all the actors didn't have to wear gas masks.
Right, which I think
constantly.
in the game is if you get into an area, you got to throw the gas mask on.
And it's also probably a little bit harder to, animate the spores in the air in terms of being live action as opposed to just saying it had to bite you.
Yeah.
It was pretty sick seeing all those.
The people?
Yeah, just being like,
yeah. We'll get ahead, though. She finds
Nora
in the hospital and recognize her. But Nora was the one that was holding her down.
At one point.
Yeah, Nora was the one that was holding her down while Abby was doing the deed to Joel, stabbing him with a golf club. No, Joel's a good man. She does recognize Nora, sees her, points the gun at her, and goes, "Where's Abby?" And it's just the whole back and forth. That's all she wants to know is where's Abby. Like, it doesn't even seem like she's really out for the crew as a whole. It's just really Abby.
Which I kind of understand.
We get this whole chase of Ellie chasing Nora through the hospital. And they end up.
Oh, but one thing I don't know if it was when was it.
She talks about what Joel did.
Yeah,
it is when they're in the basement.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
So she's chasing them through the hospital. They Nora goes down a hallway that is like blocked off. I think it was this. It might have been the stairs at the end of the hallway to the basement. Yeah. So she then like pries the elevator door open to try and get through there. And does the elevator drop?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the elevator is stuck where it's like.
halfway on the floor, right?
It's so like you could get to I think you could get to B1. Like or like no or like it's stuck where like it's just below like where whatever lobby floor they're on.
Yeah.
And then it drops down to the point where you're walking into B2.
I thought,
which is where we're said to the sports to start.
see, I thought it dropped. Technically the elevator dropped to B3. Her being on top of it.
Well, that's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
it dropped to where she
Was on top of the elevator,
yes,
gets into
yes.
B2, which we find out in the beginning of the episode that B2 and B3 is where it is. The pores are in the air, and you can't breathe it, or else you will be infected. So we kind of get like
kind of news to everyone that this is a thing. I think.
Yeah. Which
as far as we know,
was the story in the beginning. Was this Asian woman was telling the story that she had to like lock her entire battalion in the basement, and they're like, "Why'd you barricade the basement?" And she's like, "This is what this guy, like the one lieutenant, ordered me to do. He was my best lieutenant." Finds out that it was his son.
Yeah.
Which
Sad.
she kind of like say that to the end of the thing to say it, but like, yeah,
well, I think the person just said, "I'm sorry about your son." I think that's how we kind of inferred that was.
Yeah.
What it was.
So sad watching this mother talk this about like how she literally had to lock her son into a basement that she knew he was gonna be infected and die in. But crazy that when we end up down there, you see him. Like that is actually
he was
him.
turned. I mean, I don't know how long ago this was. I'm assuming it was pretty recently. He was gone.
Yeah, dude, like there was.
That's one thing. Like the timeline, we don't. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if they put the timeline, but
it looked
like
there
like
were
he was in there
so
for a
many
while.
like arms and stuff coming out of them. Like looking at like the fungus that was on the walls, like. I was walking around, like, I before we even saw the full bodies, I'm like, dude, like, that's, like, arms coming out of this stuff. Like, did they, like, take these bodies apart and, like, have the limbs, like, all around? Like, I got to go back and watch it, but I could have swore I was seeing, like, ligaments just, like, protruding out of all the fungus on the walls.
I think they said, like, the basement,
was a good amount of people down there,
that was it. That, and I think they said that was originally where they kind of put the victims of it early on in the whole thing. So like we don't really know how many people were down there at some point.
Yeah.
So like it might be like people that were down there for like a while, maybe like most of their bodies covered up by the spores.
Yeah.
And you only see a limb here and limb there.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like they've been pulled apart.
But yeah, so the scene we get when we see the son is he's like sitting up against a pillar.
Yeah.
You can tell that the fungus is just all over him, and cordyceps. Isn't that
cordyceps? Yeah.
Cordyceps. That's the term that they use all the time. But it's keeping him alive, and it's just like he's breathing in oxygen, and then breathing out the pores.
Yeah, it's like blowing out like small clouds.
Yeah, blowing dope ass clouds.
He's just. You see that? Oh.
So.
You guys want to see
blow the pore and then just move the O.
You want to see this tornado?
Yeah, he's launching O's at everybody. But so we see him and another soldier that are just spitting out pores, and Ellie is chasing Nora through all this. Nora's like we see Nora see all of it, and then Ellie's just on her tail.
I don't know what because like part of me is like being like, why weren't they getting up and trying to chase him? I don't know if this was like a different part of the spores where like. Depending on like,
I think their body's just not in use.
I mean, I think that I agree, but it like, it's weird to kind of see that they might act this way sometimes because the whole time I was waiting for them to go after him.
See, but I think
because like I said, I thought they would have been recent changes. Like
in my mind, like the whole goal for them going after them, like the normal clickers and whatnot, is to make them infected. So if this thing's purpose is just putting in the air. It thinks it's already doing its job
that's
when
fair.
they walk by. Like, there's
fair.
no reason to chase after them.
That's a good point.
So we get Ellie chasing Nora. Nora's cornered. Or not even chasing her. Like, Ellie walks up on Nora
at the
end of the hallway, just
hear
coughing.
Nora,
she's coughing. She's wheezing. And another great line delivered, and I thought Ellie crushed this, was Nora sees her and is like, you idiot. Like, you just killed us both. We're both infected.
Yeah.
And Ellie's like, did I? And, like, that was, like, cold as hell. Like... And she's like, wait, are you the one that's immune? And that was like a 16.
She's like, God damn it.
Yeah, fuck. I'm the only one that's going to die from this. And then we do get the final revelation of Nora explains to Ellie what Joel did. And she apparently knew the whole time.
I don't know if that's true. I think she might have just been using that as a tactic to be like, you can't,
I'm not
going to let you try and flip my like switch and flip my thing.
Yeah,
but I mean, she might have had. I think she kind of had an inkling that what was happening, but I can't imagine she knew because Joel. I don't think Joel told anyone, and no one.
So the reason I think it's true is the next episode we're getting is all one flashback of Joel and Elle, and I think it's gonna be from hospital to pretty much where we started the season off with, and I think at one point we're gonna get that confession to Elle, and I think it's gonna be their falling out. Because I don't think they do this entire flashback without giving us.
So you think it's like in between season 1 and season 2, like the 5 years that we missed?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I mean, not like obviously it's a lot to cover, but I think it's gonna be jumping in that time period, and we're gonna see a little bit of
I think
stuff.
we're kind of waiting for a flashback. We're definitely getting a Joel flashback.
But getting the flashback after the last episode ended with her saying "I know," I think it'd be crazy for us not to get a visual on him admitting to what he did.
Yeah,
and maybe
sense. I wouldn't be surprised.
We might finally end up finding out why Joel killed the therapist's husband.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he knew and like he had to kill him, but maybe he said maybe he disguised it as he got bit.
But I was gonna say that can't be his only reason. He's got to either be lying to the people because everyone's like he had to do it. He had to do it.
Well,
and they don't know about Ellie.
I think he probably just lied that he got bit.
Yeah, could be. But I think if we don't find out how Joel killed this guy and hear the story about the
psychotherapist is what she had.
Yeah. If we don't see how and why he killed the psychotherapist's husband, it's ridiculous how many times he's been mentioned.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure that
been mentioned.
I'm pretty sure like in the preview for the whole season, there's like a part of where like
a gunfight.
Well, no, it's not. It's like him. It's like they're like going through like pine trees, like Christmas trees, and there's an old dude in front of Joel, and Joel has like a machine gun. Like a scene that we haven't seen yet, and it's like that seems likely.
It's got to be coming next episode then with the flashback.
Yeah, we only have 2 episodes left, and I doubt they do that for a finale.
What's called another podcast talking about the show did make a point that I kind of got pissed off about, where it's like with where we're at right now, we might not even get Abby till maybe the end of the season finale. Like,
oh yeah, I think that's kind of likely.
Which is crazy to start the season off with Abby doing that, and then like the whole season is them looking for her, and we're not getting her the entire rest of the season.
No,
it's a crazy move. Yeah, but the season's been great. I have enjoyed it a lot. But
2 final episodes left. Hopefully, they're not as short as this one.
Yeah, they can't be. With doing a short season, I can't imagine they're doing short episodes to end it.
So it kind of makes sense. Like the first season, they finished the first game, whereas like season 2, like that second game is nowhere near done.
So I think
it's not like they need to.
They're stretching it out. Yeah, they're stretching it out. But the episode does end with Nora not telling Abby. Nora not telling Ella where Abby is, and Ellie doing the Abby move and just kicking the shit out of her legs with the pipe.
Which, granted, she wasn't the one that did that to Joel, but it's kind of,
It's like, I don't want to do this to you. Yeah. I could have walked out of that kitchen perfectly fine if you would have just told me where Abby was.
There's no 9-iron here, but I'll use this.
But I'll use a steel rusty pipe. Yeah, great episode. I enjoyed it. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of people didn't like it, which I think is crazy. There was enough like intense moments to me enjoy the episode as a whole.
Oh yeah,
I think there's some great scenes, like great one-liners. I
think the whole part of it being in the air now was a cool aspect that we're getting.
That was a huge revelation too. Like I think it was an overall very good episode.
Moving into our
draft.
Yeah. Before we dive into today's draft, we've got to tell you about something we've been loving lately. Light Strike Hard Refresher. If you're looking for a drink that's crisp, smooth, and actually refreshing, this is it. It's 5% malt alcohol, made with 10% coconut water and a hint of sea salt, so it's light, clean, and easy to drink. Plus, it's gluten-free and non-carbonated, meaning no bloat, no fizz, just pure laid-back sipping. Whether you're chilling by the beach, kicking back after work, or just need a break from the usual seltzers, Light Strike is a move. Seriously, try it out and let us know what you think.
Yes.
Like it said, it's great for summer's coming upon us. Oh, yeah. And it's great for tailgates. You can toss it in a cooler, especially because you can take a couple sips out of it and then close it back up and toss it back in. It's not a can that you got to finish it because sometimes you start drinking a can, you put a koozie around it, but within 30 minutes it's gross and you got to get a new one.
Oh yeah,
just keep tossing back in there.
Drink half of it, go in the ocean, cool off a bit, come back over. Once you start getting hot again, just crush the other half of this. This is.
Throw it over ice.
Yeah, again, throw it in a cooler with ice. This is like very easy drinkable stuff that you're not gonna realize you're getting tipsy because you just feel like you're refreshing yourself. You're refreshing your body, but you're also gonna be having a great time. And you're like, oh wait, that's because those Light Strikes have alcohol in them.
It's also drink responsibly, but I know there's some beaches around us in Jersey
that restrict alcohol.
They restrict alcohol. Toss a couple ice cubes in a Yeti that I have, and then toss that in there.
Yeah. I tell you what, it doesn't smell like alcohol. It doesn't look like alcohol.
No, well, yeah, but at least You're
saying put it in a separate bottle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Putting like get
It
a
does
Yeti.
say
I mean,
alcohol right there.
yeah.
True.
Or there's even like times where I'm playing golf and you're not supposed to bring in outside alcohol. I might make myself a cocktail and a Yeti and throw that in there. But that's it. That will do. It'll be a little bit easier.
Yeah. 2 amazing flavors of orange mango and was it lemon lime?
Yep.
Lemon lime.
Our favorite lemon lime.
Yeah, both are delicious. Lemon lime is our favorite, but I'm sure more flavors to come too. But get yourself some Light Strike. Great drink for the summer.
Now moving on to our draft. Pretty sure we know the results, but I'm just gonna check anyway.
Yeah, got smoked. Your boy got smoked.
Oh, this it's kind of funny that this is the most responses we've gotten.
I know.
26, 70 to 30%.
70-30. Got smoked. Cocktail draft.
So honestly, surprised you got 30%.
That's ridiculous, right? You dominated me, and you're mad that I got 3.
I'm not mad.
3 out of 10.
But you do have first pick.
I
in
do
this
have
draft.
first
So we're drafting favorite Disney movies.
Disney movies draft. I love Disney movies. Bring out my kid heart, and there's so many great stories in Disney movies. I think if you're an adult and you're like, I'm not gonna watch that as a kid's movie, you're crazy. There's great stories in these movies. There's great music in these movies. They're enjoyable to watch, and they're just a great time. The most famous one, and gotta be number 1, most obvious pick, 1-1, is The Lion King.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
It's gotta be. It's the clear 1-1. There's a lot of great choices in this draft. So, Lion King, first pick.
Number 2, I think it's a pretty easy second one, Aladdin.
That's a good one. Absolutely.
I'm going to stick with the classic Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. Great movie. I'm not going to argue that at all. I love The Little Mermaid. With my pick, I will be taking Tarzan, and I will also be taking Toy Story.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't remember that was Disney.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
It's in Disney parks. It's on the Disney app.
But when I looked them up, that didn't come up.
Disney Pixar. Are we not including Disney Pixar?
I guess. that didn't come up when I looked it up, so I'm surprised that would have been a thing.
Like I said, it's in Disney World.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm letting you have it. I'm more upset that I didn't see it.
I said Toy Story and Tarzan.
Oh, okay, right. All right, so I am going to go with, I think some of my favorite, honestly, is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, I thought I was going to be looking at a secret. That is a great movie. Lilo and Stitch is a great one.
I'm going to end it off with Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Cusco. I love those movies. Or that movie, sorry.
There's some obvious big bangers on here.
I have a lot of honorable mentions.
Yeah, there's some big bangers on here, but do I take the one that obviously is the closest to my heart?
I know exactly what you're thinking about.
I think I have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't take it.
You're done your picks, right?
Yeah.
With my last pick, I will be taking Brother Bear. Got it tatted on me. Story of 3 brothers. Main character's youngest brother. Slept on Disney movie. Had to. I was worried that you were gonna steal from me with your 4th pick just to be a dickhead.
I couldn't do that. That one I couldn't do.
I really thought you had that in you.
Is that all your picks?
That's my 4 picks. Yeah.
So honorable mentions, quick. I mean, 101 Dalmatians, one of my favorite movies.
Really, I wouldn't have even put it up here.
I love the movie, but there's a reason I didn't take it because I was like, it might not be.
Yeah.
A new one that you showed me for the first time that I really like, Encanto.
Encanto's great. Encanto's very good.
I think it's a little too new to be included.
Yeah. Another Frozen.
Mulan.
Frozen.
Yeah, that's also another.
The Good Dinosaur, I think, is not as respected, but
yeah,
I loved that movie.
Treasure Planet.
Monsters, Inc.
Monsters, Inc.
Incredibles.
Yeah. Hercules.
Hercules is one of my favorite Disney movies. I do love Hercules.
That one I almost included, but I kind of got the Emperor's New Groove.
So,
same vibe.
Mulan.
I thought I said Mulan.
Did you say Mulan? You might have.
Not picked, but like honorable mention.
Yeah, that's my entire list right there. But other ones.
Fantasia, it's a classic, but
Fantasia,
that was not going to get any likes. I think people would have to Google that to remember what that is.
No.
It is a cool movie, but it's like a silent movie.
Yeah. The Goofy movie.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast live action.
Pocahontas.
Incredible. One of my I think my favorite live action is Beauty and the Beast live action. Pocahontas. What are you thinking of?
I'm trying to think of when that live action came out.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, when was
it's with Hermione.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Right.
Never saw that.
That's incredible. That's literally that's the best live action they've done so far.
Well, not having any younger cousins I talked to for a long period of time, I didn't watch any movies of that age group for a long time.
No, this live action was groundbreaking. Emma Watson crushes.
I feel like I never remember seeing the clips of it, but
yeah,
right.
It was an overall incredible movie.
But recapping our draft of Disney movies.
Yes.
Tyler started us off.
Yeah, with the first pick, I took Lion King. I then got Tarzan and Toy Story on the way back, and then I ended my draft with Brother Bear.
And I started off with Aladdin, number 2, Little Mermaid, Lilo and Stitch, and then ended off with Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Go
So
vote your favorite picks.
yeah, Disney,
Honorable
Pixar,
mentions.
great movies. We have a long list of honorable mentions. There's just so many to choose from. But yeah, make sure you like, comment,
Subscribe.
vote on the Instagram whose team you liked more, and we'll see you next week. Let's finish watching these playoffs.
Yeah, we'll get the full schedule release for this week, and we'll be able to talk
yeah.
about it. And there'll be all conference championship with probably both leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming the NHL one's going to be done by this weekend as well.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
That's it. All right, come on, Bird.
All right, Birdie.
See, if you would have just lay like this, you could be here the whole time.